Hello! A very happy video indeed. This is one of my more serious videos that I make on this channel. And today we're gonna have to talk about the zoophile girl. I do not know their name on Twitter, I forgot what their name was specifically. But I have a bit of a rundown on this sheet of paper for the first 8 minutes of the video. And this is the main arguments that I want to make and counter arguments to her own statement. So, first of all, compares zoophiles to homosexuals and goes on to talk about their history. First of all, the problem with comparing zoophiles and homosexuals is that zoophiles, and this is where my narrative and her narrative completely go one beyond each other. And it's going to be very hard to even try and change her mind in any way possible. So, first of all, and this, you do not believe this, obviously, animals cannot consent. You go on later on in the video to state that animals can consent, and that there's a popular bad faith argument that, animals, fully grown, mature animals, are, compared to toddlers, which is a bad faith argument. The problem is, there is a reason why, animals behave in a certain way, right? They are not evolutionarily capable to hold proper speech or any form of logical sense. They only act on their own instincts and maybe some very low-grade intelligence. You cannot just say that animals can consent based on your own personal feelings, all right? So, and I know very well what you refer to. You believe, since the animal, to a certain degree, likes, fucking you in the ass, which that's what you do. You let your German Shepard fuck you in the ass. You believe that that's morally fine because they come to you, maybe. I'm making a huge assumption here, but I do believe something of this sort is going on. Or maybe you justify it to yourself because you take care of the animal, and you treat the animal as in your own laws say later on, that you treat the animal as such as an equal human, which again plays into your narrative that animals can consent because they are as intelligent as humans, which they are not. Obviously, if they were, they would have any grade of societies and any grade of evolutionary proof to show that they have a IQ that is above around, 60. Animals are lower than retards, alright? And the fact you completely deny this shows that you have gone very far into the soul. But to go back to the main argument, so comparing to zoophiles to homosexuals is retarded. My argument is animals cannot consent. Homosexuals are men who date other men. And they are grown-ups, and as long as they're adults, that's fine. It's their own personal choice, and you have nothing to counter-argue to this. And I please and I beg of you to not compare yourself to them. They are something else completely entirely to your own argument, but of course you have to rely on other minorities groups so you can try and popularize, or at the very least put down the stigma of being a dog fucker. Which is not going to go away. I'm just going to tell you this, you're fighting biology right now. Next argument is, tries to push a narrative that being against zoophilia is propaganda and continues to compare to homosexuality. Yeah, so this was what I wrote. You imply that back in history, there was propaganda that like homosexuality was against the laws of nature, and that's why people discriminated against you. So you try to imply that, you're the same kind of people, the propaganda and the people saying, oh my god, zoophilia bad, etc., etc. You try to say that it's propaganda and there's no valid arguments, which obviously plays into your argument that fucking dogs is okay, which again, it's not. There's no way you can, there's no fucking biological way. Of course you can find a way, but a way that is scientifical to justify your dog fucking there's no way. All right, bestiality and zoophilia has been for a long time, but so do pedophiles. And I don't think you are protecting pedophiles, are you? Well, neither am I. And I think you should, I don't know, man. I think you should just get the fuck out of the dog, right? Next one. Tries to imply that the reason they might get hate is cancel culture. And this one made me laugh. You clearly have a way of pushing a narrative that it's beautiful to me, right? Because, I don't know, you try to imply that you're, liberal, fuck the cancel culture, etc., etc. But of course, you appeal to cancel culture to try and say, oh no, guys, no, cancel culture are trying to destroy me. They're wrong. I'm right, dude. I understand that when the majority of people, or even a minority, people can come at you, you might feel it's like cancel culture. The fact is, you haven't been, you haven't tried to question your own narrative. You have fallen in this hole so deep that you are okay with the mistreatment of your animals for your own pleasure. There's no denying this. It is your own pleasure. Even if you don't get an orgasm from the dog fucking, you still enjoy the relationship. And you're comfortable in the relationship. And that's fucking horrible. Alright? You are a human with a brain. That brain is supposed to understand that animals cannot consent. There is no animal that can consent. Alright? We are supposed to have the intelligence to see the difference between those. But I see clearly you either know it's wrong and you will do this willingly, or are so brain dead that you continue doing it. And I fucking hate that I have to fucking come after you and talk like this. But fuck me. You are unironically extremely hard to debate because you already made up your mind. You already said, hey, fuck you to every argument. You're wrong, kill yourself. You are extremely hard to argue with in a very nice manner for me, alright? It's very fucking hard for me to argue you in a cognitive manner. So to continue, 4 comes out as a zoophile at minute 3 and 18 seconds. Yeah, I put a time span for those who wanted to check our video because I heavily recommend it. Don't watch it fully. She goes on basically on a rant, on a tangent about it. If you want to see the full picture, that's fine by me. Go ahead and watch it. But I'm saying it is quite annoying to watch because she doesn't have any script, any way of presenting her opinions, and any way she just go on a fucking tangent. And so am I to a certain degree, but I have a fucking picture. A piece of paper, which is more than she had. Alright, continuing. 5. Tries to imply that there is a ethical way of zoophilia. Of course. She basically says that, if you take care of the dog or you treat it as a human to a certain degree, which, she believes that they are, the fully developed dogs, like adult dogs, she tries to imply they're, you treat them with care, with human. There's like 7 rules or something. I'm gonna have to read them from my phone, my cracked phone. I'll have to read the rules later on in the video. I'm gonna go more in depth into it. Talks about someone hurting animals and talks like she's above them. Right. So even if you haven't hurt your dog, which I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. All right. I'll be generous and give you the benefit of that. You did not hurt your dog. All right. There's no denying that you had sex with him. There's no denying you're sexually attracted to your dog and only your dog. You have come out as a zoophile and you said, I am sexually attracted only to my dog and I don't have a thing for humans. That's what you said. And that is, I'd say, maybe better than beating your dog because it's not hurting them. But the way I see it, it's rape, right? So because it is rape, and there's legit, it's very hard for you to even justify it. But you go on a tangent around it to say, oh, it's not rape because of something, right? It's so fucking okay. 7 tries to imply that her mate is giving consent in the relationship. Yeah, what I said before. Keep in mind, this is only the 7th minute. I have to fucking say this because this video is 36 minutes long. No sort of fucking script. It took me fucking 15 minutes to write fucking up to the 7th minute. You cannot go on a tangent about your fucking coming out video. Please, at the very least, script some ideas so I can have anything to go by. You fucking mental. Alright. Here's a quote, alright? Zoophiles are one of the most caring, loving people towards their animals and their mates. We see animals as equal to humans, not as property or an object like the eyes of the law. That's the problem. Because you see them as equals, it's more easy for you to justify your sexual acts towards them. And because you're so caring to them, to some degree, you believe that it is a consensual relationship, which is not. I don't know how many times I have to reiterate this, but it is not a consensual relationship. A dog cannot consent. They might come to you and want to have sex with you, but that is not consent. You know why? Because they don't have the cognitive fucking ability to understand what is going on. It's like saying, oh, your pussy was wet, so you wanted it, right? Or a child, right? A child wanted to fuck the pedophile because they were coming to them. A child does not have the mental capacity to understand the situation they are on. They're acting on instincts and basic animal principles, which animals have even more than children. So it's so goddamn horrifying to me that zoophiles, okay, I'll keep it short. Zoophiles are worse than pedophiles. You know why? You know why? Because animals are even less intelligent than children. All right? Animals are even less intelligent than children, and children have at least an IQ, at least something to talk to, right? It is so goddamn mesmerizing to me that you cannot conceive this. You are worse than pedophiles. You legit are worse than pedophiles. And animals are even less able to defend themselves. They have to live by your rules to get your food that you pay for. It is horrifying that you cannot conceive this. It's beyond my fucking intelligence, alright? And I know I'm going to be strawmanning you, but I'm not going to quote the 36-minute video. I'm already at the 12-minute mark, and I try to keep this under 15 minutes. So I'm going to read the Zeta Principles, which she says it's basically the rules that zoophiles, the moral ones at the very least, by their own morals, go by. So, 1. Bestow upon animals the same kindness one would wish bestowed upon oneself. That basically says, treat an animal as you'd want to be treated. Yeah, I'd agree with that, to a certain degree. To a certain degree. If you wish to give kindness to a dog, that's fine. The way you defined kindness, that's my problem. You believe that dating the dog or giving it a kiss is kindness. It is not kindness. It's your own selfish, sexual attraction to the dog bestowed upon the dog, and the dog does not know what to do. All right, they accept it, and they might even like it, but they're not aware of what is going on. 2. Consider the well-being of an animal companion as they're important as one's own. Again, the same rule basically. Animal be treated good as you want to be treated. It's the same thing basically. 3. Place the animal's will and well-being ahead of one's desire for sexual gratification. This is my problem. They basically imply, their consent is more powerful than yours. And I would agree. The problem is that you believe that they can give consent in the first place, which I've told so many fucking times they cannot give consent. Please, I beg of you, go to a biologist who has any sort of just a lot of years in the field and talk to them, And after the discussion, you might as well go to a psychologist or psychiatrist or any way to take away from that. You should not own a dog. You should not own an animal. You're not mentally stable to own an animal. You are a child molester for dogs. Next one. Teach those who seek knowledge about zoophilia and bestiality without promoting it. That's retarded. You don't want to promote it, sure, but you talk about it in a way that is moral, so you basically promote it. You basically are retarded. Like, you can't say talk about it, but don't promote it. if you don't want to promote it, then you should talk to and about it in a way that is, you know, logical, which you're not. You're saying that zoophilia is okay, which again is not, because I keep repeating myself. It's no. That rule is no. Discourage the practice of bestiality in the presence of fetish seekers. So she makes a distinction between herself or the majority community and fetish seekers and bestiality. Bestiality, they basically see it as raping animals, which they are, but they're basically putting like a small etiquette here. No, I only rape animals if they want it. It's so funny. And fetish seekers, they basically say like, oh, fetishizing dogs. Retard. I saw your Twitter, alright? I saw what you're retweeting. This person retweets dildos of dogs' penises. How is that not fetishizing them? Alright. Censor sexual exploitation of animals for the purpose of financial gain. So the sexual really baffles me. You see dogs as that equals, right? You see them as humans, right? But making porn of dogs is wrong? I mean, aren't they consenting adults? Can they choose for themselves if they want to have sex? Make videos about them having sex? Are they not allowed to? Since when? I thought they were intelligent. I don't know. That's what you told me, didn't you? So that rule is no by your own definition, right? 7. Censor those who practice and promote animal sexual abuse. Again, sexual abuse is basically a sticker saying, "Oh, sexual abuse, bad, bad, bad," but that's what you're doing. Again, the animals are not consenting, even if you believe it's consenting, it's not. Please, and I beg you, please go to a biologist who has a certain amount of experience in the field, and then go to a psychologist and psychiatrist and get yourself fixed up. Even if you can, just give away the dog. You should not be allowed to own animals. That's about it for what I want to say. I know it's a straw man to a certain degree because it's like 8 minutes out of 36, but I cannot fucking put this video to 20 minutes, alright? Or even 40 hours. What do you want from me? Alright, either way. This is about it. It's the main arguments of the first 8 minutes. If you want to watch the full video, please go ahead. This was it. Animals cannot consent. Please don't fuck dogs. Bye-bye.